Patriots week, Dolphins fans. We're actually going to be done with the Patriots after this week 8 matchup. Obviously, as you already know, played them week 2 on Sunday Night Football. We were victors in that one. If you remember that game, it was the crazy ending where Gesicki caught the ball, had to lateral it back to Cole Strange. We made the tackle, saved the day. We were able to kill the clock from there. Just a wild game. Hopefully this next one we can take care of business maybe a little bit earlier, maybe not have it come down to the very end, which that game shouldn't have anyways. But regardless, it's the rematch. It's week 8. It's Patriots week against the Miami Dolphins. This time it's a Sunday afternoon game, the 1 p.m. start. First of 2 preview videos for that game. We're going to be talking latest news, injury updates today. We got a new guy on the injury report, unfortunately. Top matchups, keys to victory to watch for. But before I get into all that, drop your questions for the final preview and prediction video. Going to be getting that one out on Saturday morning. I'll likely record it on Friday evening at some point, but try to get your questions in. I will answer as many of those as possible. One last thing to note before I jump into today's preview video as well. Thank you to everyone that had reached out, all the kind words regarding me and my wife and the baby that was expecting. Baby did arrive. I would say that it's a little girl. However, it was 9 pounds, 3 ounces. So nothing too little there, but baby is doing well. Mama is doing well. Once again, thanks to everyone who had some nice, kind words for us. But let's jump into everything. We talked about the injury report. Tyreek Hill popped up on it with a hip injury. 1 second, I got to check something. All right, here we go. Unfortunately, Tyreek Hill was on it. Now, we know that he's been battling with like a knee issue basically all season. The knee soreness has come up. We've seen him come out every once in a while here and there. The problem with this is it's his hip. We haven't seen this on the injury report yet, and we know that it happened prior to practice on Wednesday as well. So something must have happened in the game. Tyreek did go into the blue tent for a little while. Didn't know much of anything about it until Wednesday, but regardless, working on digging up some more information, hopefully throughout the week, more preview videos. We'll get some information on this one. I don't want to speculate too much at this point in time, but we need to say Tyreek Hill is on the injury report. But speaking of the injury report, I usually don't put it up on the scroll, but this week I feel like I kind of have to. There's so many people on this week's injury report. Javon Holland, like you can see it on the scroll there. I'm not going to go through everyone. Javon Holland is progressing through concussion protocol. So as we know from all of our experience with that last year, just a matter of time. Robert Jones, that was a personal, not injury related, nothing to worry about there. We'll see if he gets the snaps at left guard or if it's once again going to be Lester Cotton because Isaiah Wynn was indeed placed on IR. River Craycraft, his 21-day window has been open. He officially returned to practice on Wednesday, albeit in a limited capacity. Xavier Howard, Connor Williams, they remain limited with the groin issues. Jalen Waddle, like I said, the list goes on and on and on. Waddle's listed with the back, but man, we know he's been banged up since the joint practices with the Falcons, with the mid area, the midsection injury. Now it's the back. He had the concussion in the first matchup against the Patriots. So plenty going on there with Jalen Waddle. Keep an eye on Jalen Ramsey throughout the week. I know there's a lot of speculation saying he may be back this week. Maybe he's back already against the Chiefs leading up to the bye week. I'm not going to speculate too much on that. We'll see how things progress throughout the week. Regardless, like I said, we are fairly banged up heading into this game against the Patriots. And it kind of takes me back to what we experienced when we played the Panthers. And my motto for that week was, for how bad it sounds, against the one team that was winless in the NFL, survive and advance. And it's not like the Patriots record is all that much better on paper. We should blow them away. We're close to a 10-point favorite in this game. But with everything that we're going through with the injuries, with treating injuries the way we have been this year, which is basically let's let guys get a little extra rest. We're throwing the likes of Liam Eichenberg into the mix right now. We're playing without Ramsey and Howard. Now Javon Holland's in concussion protocol. I hate to say this. I want to win this game a little bit more comfortably than one touchdown like we did last time we played the Patriots. But I'm unfortunately kind of back to that survive in advance motto, kind of where my head's at with that. And we'll see how things go with Tyreek as well. Obviously, he plays a big factor, which we'll talk about here in a second as well. Once again, though, my motto is a little bit of survive in advance. Let's bleed into the top match of some of those keys to victory. Because I think Raheem Mostert, I think it's the running game, and I think this is one of those opportunities for that bounce back game. And why I say that is he only had 45 rushing yards last week against the Eagles. We all know in the first half he had like -7. So he had a decent second half, but overall in the entire game wasn't great. It was only the second time all season he was under double-digit carries. Now, what I talk about Tyreek here is because we all know Bill Belichick, thinking about him on defense. What's he do? Takes away your best option. That's what he did in week 2 as well. Tyreek Hill scored a touchdown in that game, but it wasn't just Tyreek taking the top off the defense all the time and connecting on these deep routes. I think they held him to about 45, 50 yards in that one. So we're going to need others to step up. If Hill can't go, we maybe need a Jalen Waddle to step up. We need other wide receivers and pass catchers to step up. But I think we can get it going in the running game as well. Last time against the Patriots, Raheem Mostert goes 18 carries, 121 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Now, if you look at the Patriots this year against the rush, they're about average in the league. They're 13th in rushing yards allowed per game, just over about 100 yards per game. But that's kind of why I think this is one of those keys to victory for me. It's establish the run game. Don't let them tee off on Tua. I know Matthew Judon is out. Christian Gonzalez, who had the interception on Tua in week 2, he's been on IR as well. He won't be playing in this game. But if we get the run game established, we get Raheem Mostert going, get him around 100 yards as well, that could be huge in regards to keys to this game. Let's go to another one here. And oddly enough, it's disrupting Mac Jones. Mac Jones isn't the type of quarterback in the league. He's not the Josh Allens of the world, the Lamar Jacksons, the Patrick Mahomes. You know the guys I'm talking about. But it's what we saw from him not in the not so distant future, which makes me want to say this. But week 2 against the Dolphins, didn't have a terrible game. He went 31 of 42, which is fairly efficient completion percentage-wise. 231 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. He took 4 sacks in that game. That game against the Dolphins, if you remember, Jalen Phillips didn't play. Andrew Van Ginkel, a little bit of a show-out game there. I think he got my game ball in that game. Bradley Chubb had a decent game in that one. He forced a fumble as well. But now we're getting Jalen Phillips back, and we're getting him a little bit back more to normal as well. We've seen him on some limited snaps, we'll call it a snap count, but he's actually, we felt his performance a little bit there against the Eagles. So as he gets back to normal, and you already got Chubb, you got Van Ginkel, you got Ogba, and then in the interior, you got Wilkins and you got Sealer. We've got these guys now that we can kind of get to the quarterback because, yeah, we're injured, but we're kind of injured elsewhere. It's kind of nice that these guys up front on the defense are the healthy ones. These front 7 guys, the guys that we need really to get to the quarterback, fortunately enough for us, are healthy. So that key, you pressure Mac Jones, you get him off his spot, you rush his decisions, you force bad decisions. Hopefully you force a couple of turnovers as well. Why I talked about last week being Mac Jones being more of a consistent game as well. 20 against the Bills, 25 of 30, 272 yards, 2 touchdowns. Only the 5 incompletions, but no wide receiver in that game topped 65 yards. But what he was doing it was great distribution. He was getting the ball out, and 9 receivers, 9 different pass catchers caught balls in that. And then against the Bills, a team that we know very well can get to the quarterback, he only took 1 sack. So we can't let Mac Jones get hot. You don't want to he's kind of a guy you don't want to let his confidence get going. You rattle him early. You hopefully can get into his face. You get a couple of sacks. That can lead to those bad decisions. That can lead to those off-platform throws, which can lead to some of those turnovers as well, and really help us skip some more possessions in this game, especially if guys like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are banged up. And you know all the other offensive line injuries and all the injuries we saw on the scroll earlier as well. But I will be back with at least one more video this week. I got my my final preview and prediction video for sure. So like I said, any questions you've got that you'd like me to consider in that video, go ahead, drop those in the comments. Thanks again to everyone that has reached out and everything with the congrats and the hope everything goes well. Definitely appreciate that. Feel the love from you guys as always. But that is what I've got for today, Dolphins fans. And until next time, fins up.